England need 28 runs with 1 wicket in hand. The great all-rounder from Pakistan, Imran Khan, to bowl out. Not 4 men inside the circle. He's saying to the man of fine leg, please come up, the game's not over yet. There's 6 balls to be bowled. At least 6. In comes Imran Khan. And that's got to be called a no ball because it went over the batsman's head, so a little bit of pressure there for the Pakistan captain.
Well, that's very unusual. You'd have thought a cool and experienced head like Imran Khan shaking his head there in his own disbelief, can't believe what's happened. You'd have thought he could keep control of this ball. But it's looped over the top of Richard Illingworth, who's done the only decent thing and ducked.
This one's tipped away. Could go for 4, and it does. So England fighting down to the wire. With 5 balls to be bowled in the World Cup for '92.
Well, all those England supporters at the Putney Constitutional can stay awake for another 10 minutes just to see what, or another 3 minutes probably in these conditions. Fine clip. It's a Javed Miandad type shot there that Richard Illingworth has played. And even at this juncture, Imran Khan changes the field, sends the man back to long leg to cover that shot.
Imran tries to bowl before the man's inside the circle. Umpire Steve Buckner has not missed a trick in this World Cup. Threw the arm out and said there's not the man inside the circle in complete control in the final over.
Well, actually, it almost looked as though Imran Khan had forgotten to tell the man to come in when he was racing in as Imran Khan was running in.
That's up in the air. He's getting under it. This could be victory. It is. Pakistan win the World Cup. A magnificent performance in front of 87,000 people. Imran Khan has led his side to victory. What a great victory.
Well, the Pakistani players in prayer on the ground to give thanks for their victory. They've certainly been the side of the night. Their momentum in this tournament has grown and grown and grown, and they've timed their best form absolutely perfectly. It's been a team effort. The entire squad, the physio, the doctors, they're all out on the field now, and they're loving every moment of this. Imran Khan, his 5th World Cup, his 5th attempt to win the trophy, and he's finally done it. And even the great Imran allows himself a smile there. Very cool customer. But he's going to savour every moment of this.
Yes, they win by 22 runs, and they did it in style. They bowled England out. They defended the 249 magnificently. Wasim Akram, Mushtaq Ahmed bowled beautifully. Fine catching in the deep. Young Akif Javed bowled a good spell as well. So they were on top, and all the fieldsmen contributed. And there must be the proudest man of the world at the moment, Imran Khan.
Well, as skipper of this Pakistani side, he takes a lot of the credit going for the way he's manipulated them. He picked them up at Perth against Australia 2 or 3 weeks back when they were in their last gasp needing to win. They won that game there. They've not looked back since. They took on New Zealand at Eden Park in the semi-final. They chased over 260 there to win the game. And they've come to Melbourne. They've come to the World Cup final. They've come to play in front of all these supporters. 80-odd thousand, some of them neutral, some of them supporting England, some of them supporting Pakistan. And they've done the job. They've won the game comfortably. They've produced their best cricket of the entire tournament. And there's the result. Pakistan, very, very happy winners. Intikhab Alam, the manager there, very experienced hand. And the man for me who's made this possible today, although it has been a team effort, has been Wasim Akram. 33 runs at a crucial time at the end of the Pakistani innings. Gave them the total that they needed. 3 wickets as well. He was the man of the moment. And we'll be back at the MCG in just a moment for the presentations.
Coming out from the pavilion, enjoying the moment with the rest of his fellow cricketers, and I think what has been said, absolutely right. Pakistan saved their best performance to the end. They improved as the tournament wore on.
That's right. I think they were really fantastic. I think they've over the last couple of seasons been slow starters. Even the tournament in Sharjah, they were slow to start with, but they warmed up to the event and they won that tournament. And once again over here, they were very slow to start with. They had their little hiccups, but they have gone from strength to strength, learned from those defeats, and here they are, the world champions.
And this is how it all finished. After 5 weeks of competition, the final game, the 39th of the tournament, and England down and out, and Pakistan victorious.
Well, I don't know whether Ramiz Raja is going to keep that ball. I hope he hasn't chucked it away. That's a very, very important ball. There he is on your screens, very happy, along with Salim Malik, who unfortunately didn't have a great World Cup. These two young men there, Inzamam and Mushtaq, the future of Pakistan cricket. One an attacking leg spinner, another wonderful batsman. Amir Sohail also had a tremendous World Cup.
It makes you wonder what they would have done with Waqar Younis.
Oh yes, they probably would have won all their matches then.
But a full credit, I think, to Javed, who came in, and he was probably their steadiest bowler throughout the tournaments. And in the early stages, I thought was probably even bowling better than Wasim Akram.
That's right. I think when you look at his performances, you realize how underrated he has been, because he's kept the pressure on while Wasim has been attacking. So Wasim has been able to go on bowling in an attacking manner, while the pressure is still kept on at the other end with Aqib's wonderfully accurate bowling. So Aqib Javed's performances have been very much underrated. He's not the glamour boy of Pakistan's cricket by a long shot, but ask Imran, ask Javed Miandad, and they'll tell you how important he is to the Pakistan team.
It always used to be said that strike bowlers operate in pairs. I mean, when you always think of Lillian Thompson, or even further back, Statham and Truman, there's always one who's the real sort of out-and-out wicket taker, but they do need the support. And I wonder if this is going to be a sort of a combination.
Well, I think if Waqar comes back very quickly, then Aqib will be the first change bowler, and Akram and Waqar will be the new ball bowlers. So all in all, it doesn't look like it's going to be a happy time for the openers who confront Pakistan.
Okay, we're getting commentary back from the MCG. Let's pick it up.
Here in the middle of the Melbourne cricket ground, a crowd of over 87,000 here today, creating a new limited overs attendance record in Australia, beating the previous one of 86,133 on this same ground. When the last catch was taken, the rest of the Pakistan team rushed the field to join the players who had done so marvellously out there today. Imran Khan, the captain and the hero, dragged his team through when it looked as though they were beaten in the preliminary rounds, got them into the semi-finals. They won at Eden Park in a thrilling encounter, and now they have turned in a great performance here at the MCG. Not only their own supporters, but others will be pleased that it was such a good match and that they turned in such a sterling effort. Intikhab Alam, the manager and coach of the Pakistan side, led all the extras from the dressing room. A great sight and a very, very happy occasion. And in the centre of the ground now, Tony Gray.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's my pleasure now to introduce to you Mr. Malcolm Gray, who is the joint chairman of the World Cup Committee. Mr. Gray.
Colin Cowdrey, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Pakistan on a well-deserved first ever World Cup victory. Commiserations also go to Graham Gooch and his men. Well played. The 1992 World Cup has been an outstanding success. A large part of that success has been due to the tremendous support that we've received from the sporting public of both New Zealand and Australia. For that we say thank you. We're also indeed grateful for the generous sponsorship of the Benson and Hedges Company. To present the Man of the Match Award and the prize money cheque to the losing captain, Graham, I now introduce to you former Australian cricketer and now Director of the Benson and Hedges Company, Mr. Alan Turner.
Thank you, Malcolm. When we accepted the role as sponsor of this 1992 World Cup, we anticipated a great festival of cricket, and I must say the Benson and Hedges Company is delighted with the way it has been staged in Australia and New Zealand. It truly has been magnificent. We thank the Australian Cricket Board and New Zealand Cricket for the effort they have put into this tournament to make it so successful. We congratulate all 9 teams, and we thank the public in both Australia and New Zealand for superb support they have provided throughout. I have here a medallion and a cheque for $3,000 for the Benson and Hedges Player of the Match from this final. And I'd like to ask Wasim Akram to come up here and collect it. I now ask Graham Gooch, Captain of England, to come up and accept a cheque from the Benson and Hedges sponsorship for $25,000 as runner-up in the World Cup. You may not have won this match, but your team did a magnificent job in reaching this final, and you certainly proved worthy opponents.
Just say it's an absolute delight to play in the final. I'd like to thank my team, all the English supporters that followed us around. And I also say congratulations to Pakistan for playing a great match and winning the cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Graham Gooch. It's now my pleasure to introduce Sir Colin Cowdrey, Chairman of the International Cricket Council. Mr. Cowdrey.
Imran and your team, I offer congratulations on behalf of the world of cricket, and I'd like to come up here and I present you with the Benson Hedges Prize. Benson Hedges Prize of $50,000. And one more thing. Here, this magnificent Waterford crystal trophy. You mustn't drop it. Thank you very much.
I would just like to say I want to give my commiserations to the English team. But I want them to know that by winning this World Cup, personally, it means that one of my greatest obsessions in life, which is to build a cancer hospital, I'm sure that this World Cup will go a long way towards completion of this obsession. I would also like to say that I feel very proud that at the twilight of my career, finally I've managed to win the World Cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imran Khan. Congratulations, Pakistan. That's all from down here. Hope you now enjoy the fireworks.
Well, that's it. Great finale, plenty of atmosphere, and in the end, I think the best team won.
Yes, and I think Imran was very emotional over there as he gave a little acceptance speech. Pakistan very deserving victors. He's worked very hard to get that team together. He's made a few changes over the last 3 or 4 years, but he's got the combination that he wanted. victorious combination. And full congratulations to him and his team for having played so brilliantly right through the tournament.
Well, I know that the game of cricket has been viewed by a lot of people who had no idea what the sport was all about. The event going to over 1 billion viewers, it's reckoned, and of course with Prime Sports here joining in, the audience increased even further, and of course, 87,000 people at the MCG just to finish all things off, a record attendance there. So it looks as though one-day cricket at least is in a very healthy state.
It certainly is. It's really the thing that is supporting the test match version, because in the old days it was the test matches which brought in the crowds, but today it is the one-day games that bring in the crowds, and that's where the money is for the administrators and for the players as well.
And it's a long haul for the players. I mean, they were there on tour for 5 weeks, and that probably butted onto all the preparation overseas they're in. I mean, you don't think that this is too much for the players, or do you think that's part of their profession they're getting with it?
I think it's part of their profession, and in any case the World Cup is an event which comes once in 4 years, so you have to make do with the odd niggle and aches and pains and carry on with it. Over the 5 weeks, that's what Pakistan has done. They've ignored the aches and pains. They better be careful with that cup as they run over there. But Pakistan really has shown that flair can win the cup. I mean, they played with a lot of flair. I mean, it's not just up and down professional cricket. They have played with a lot of style, and they are really deserving champions. Intikhab Alam, who has been the cricket manager for some time now, when he was playing, there wasn't the World Cup. He must be a very happy man too.
I think I'd like to reiterate what you said about the Pakistan flair. I mean, they've done it with probably the most effective bowlers in the World Cup. You know, certainly the best leg spinner in Mushtaq, the best strike bowler. And also, when it's mattered, they've had some brilliant batting performances. I mean, like Imran's innings the other day, and the one today wasn't too bad either. And they've actually pulled out the brilliant performances when it's needed.
Yes, I think what a lot of people tend to overlook is that bowlers are very, very important in one-day cricket, because if they can take wickets, then they're putting pressure on the opposition batsman. It's no good just having bowlers who will contain the batsman, because as we've seen right through this World Cup tournament, even if the batsmen are contained in the first 30 overs, if there are no wickets that have fallen, they can always throw their bats about and get almost 8 or 9 runs an over in the last 20 overs, and thus make up for their earlier slow start.
And that's what England found to their cost. They managed to contain, and then suddenly when they wanted someone to come in and put a break on it, all their normally economic bowlers, who are not strike bowlers, just couldn't handle it.
That's because they'd got into a groove, and their line and length was very, very predictable. And so the Pakistani batsmen, particularly Akram and Inzamam ul Haq, could move into their shots, knowing exactly where the ball was going to land.
You think, in hindsight, Illingworth may have been, maybe Tufnell should have gone in instead of Illingworth? Or, I mean, in the end, I don't suppose one player is going to make the difference.
Well, certainly, as a captain, I would prefer a bowler who would get me 3 wickets for 55 runs than a bowler who's going to get me, say, 1 wicket for 37 runs. Because those 3 wickets will mean that I'll have put some pressure on the opposition by getting their batsmen out and not leaving them with the wickets in the charge overs.
And of course, as soon as England had lost the likes of Lewis for a duck, and Stewart, who's been who's got a lot of runs over the last few games, going very cheaply, both of them of course going out a disputed decision, but I mean these things even out over a tournament, so you can't just sort of look at that. That too many players didn't come off in the final.
That's right. I think England had a lot of bits and pieces players in their side, and bits and pieces players are perhaps okay for the earlier rounds or against sides which are not as strong as Pakistan. But Pakistan have shown that they had the men for the job. They had the specialists. They had specialist batsmen and specialist bowlers. And that's the reason why they are in the position they are today, world champions.
Bits and pieces players shouldn't be world champions, I think.
Be number one, who's gonna take out the cup? Who will it be? Who'll be the kings? It's a once